paragraph or two on.
Let me ask a couple questions while we have you here. What exactly will this money be doing for the effort that you're a part of?
This particular money is going to be used for a statewide event that's going to take place here in Holland at the DoubleTree Hotel on October 18 of this coming year, the next school year, where it's a student-led event. There will be approximately 400 students there, multiple breakout sessions and speakers from the state, all about distracted and driving and alcohol-related driving when it comes to teens.
Has the change in the law that has now put texting as a violation that can be pulled over, has that made a dent yet?
Actually, it has not, according to the state of Michigan. And the problem with that is that students or even adults were driving with their cell phones on top of the steering wheel, texting so they could see where they're going. And now they're afraid of the police seeing them and getting a ticket. And so they're typically holding the cell phone down on their knee or something and taking their eyes off the road for approximately 4.5 seconds, which is the average time to send a text or receive a text. And that's basically a football field at 55 miles an hour in 5 seconds. So it is not a good law. It has not made a change for the better.
What makes texting different than, say, eating, dealing with kids in the car, or other distractions?
They are all distractions, but if we're eating, I guess we're still trying to keep our eyes on the road. Okay, and you're right, there's a lot of distractions. It's not just cell phones. It is children in the car, or an animal in the car, or putting on makeup in the car. We see that on the street. Reading a map or reading a book. There's multiple distractions. Picking something up off the floor. There's a lot of them.
Dorothy, talk a little bit about State Farm's involvement with this. He said that the texting law is not ideal.
Right.
And I know you probably want to speak locally, but is the company itself sort of trying to look for other ways to attack this problem and help local law enforcement and local legislators try to attack this problem?
Well, absolutely. We donate millions of dollars to programs like this across the country. I mean, we, as a company, have programs that offer discounts and incentives for teens that are safe drivers. We do education programs with them. We meet with them. It's a huge issue. And unfortunately, I'd like to say it's just the kids. It isn't. I see plenty of adults doing it as well.
What about enforcing it? Because it seems as if you guys have to look for so much already, between seat belts, drinking and driving, and now texting. You know, there's only so much an officer can do.
It's very hard to catch these people texting. Number one, in a police car, we're a big bulletin board, so as soon as they see us, the action is over. You know, there's been some tickets for it where you roll up and you just come from behind them and watch them text. But again, you have to decide, or after the traffic stop, decipher whether or not they were dialing the phone or were they texting. And it's two different situations.
Does dialing have to possibly be next online?
No cell phones in the car would be next online.
What about the simulator?
The simulator is a tool that we received through a grant from State Farm 2 years ago. We take it into the schools and different events. It has made a huge impact. I did an event without the simulator probably 2 years ago at the Kent Career Tech Center. And then this past January, I was at the International Car Show in Grand Rapids, and I had two 18-year-old kids come up to me and they wanted to drive the simulator. And I sat them down and I said to the first kid, I said, "Do you have your cell phone with you?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Why don't you take it out? I want you to text your friend." He said, "No, I'm not going to do that." I said, "Why would you not do that? It's just a simulator." And he said, "No, I'm not going to do it." I said, "Okay." I said, "Will you sign this piece of paper? We have a pledge form that kids will sign that they won't text and drive." And he signed it and he said, "Where would you like me to put it?" And I said, "Just lay it on top of that picture." And it was a picture that I had of a race car that we own. And he took it and he laid it down there and he looked at me and he's like, "You came to our school a couple years ago." And I said, "Yes, I did." And he said, "You're the reason we don't text and drive. The stuff that you told us earlier, we don't do that. And so we're making an impact. The simulator, again, we run students through it. We have them take out their cell phone and have a friend sit behind them and text them back and forth, and they soon realize how they cannot do both at the same time. And then we have a pledge form that we ask them to sign, just as a reminder to themselves that they won't text and drive.
This is a good tool to bring home the emphasis point.
Correct.
Pardon me if I'm asking a question out of school on this. Are other, like driving schools, that are teaching these kids how to drive, having stuff like that so that they can learn right off the bat without even have to have this reinforced in their mind? Do you know of any off the top of your head?
I am not aware of the 3 local driver's ed schools that have a simulator.
They're fairly expensive pieces of equipment, so it'd be a great thing for them to have, obviously.
All right.
But there's also something to kids getting behind the wheel, and then they get a little confident, and sometimes that's on the insurance side where we see tickets and accidents when they feel like they've got it.